Today we're going to be installing a new starter on the 7.3 Powerstroke. I'm going to be going over exactly how to take everything off, what to use, and how you're going to install it. And then we're also going to be firing up the truck with it in there. This one is the Duralast Gold. It comes with a lifetime warranty, and we got it from AutoZone. Stay tuned if you're trying to learn how to put a new starter in. Also, guys, the starter was $250. It's about the price range that you're going to look at if you want to buy a new starter for the 7.3. Finally, guys, for those of you wondering about the $1,000 truck build challenge, I did get the part in. The monitor of this was $500, so it went over our budget a little bit, but it is the Edge CTS3, so stay tuned for Monday's upload where I'm going to actually be installing this. For the milestone challenge that we're going to be doing at 5K subs, once again, we're going to be putting in a new front bumper. For 7.5K subs, we're putting in a new back bumper. For 10K subs, we're going to be putting in new injectors, and then for 20K subs, we're putting in a new turbo, and then at 100K subs, I'll buy a new 7.3 for you guys. So make sure you guys subscribe down below to see all the new mods that are going on the 7.3 Powerstroke. And without further ado, enjoy the how-to video. So I'm actually going to be unboxing the starter for you guys. We needed it today. The 7.3 is actually not starting, as you guys saw in the last video. We're starting up like super slow, so we needed it today, and they had it today at AutoZone. So this is why we kind of got this one. I didn't order like a new upgraded one online. That being said, we're going to unbox it for you guys real quick here. This is it right here. It comes in a nice little bubble wrap. Just goes, slides in like that. I'll show you guys here in a second.
Okay, guys. So for this video, I just wanted to do a voiceover on how to install the starter instead of doing it live, just because it'd make for better audio and a easier instructional video to follow. Let's get right into it here. First things first, we started by disconnecting the batteries. We want to make sure to disconnect the negative side first, so there's no chance of shorting out the system and causing a big spark. Disconnecting the batteries is absolutely crucial, is the first thing that you're going to want to do, because if you don't disconnect it, guys, the starter is directly hooked up to the battery and you will absolutely blow something up. So make sure that is the number one thing you need to do. Okay, so the starter on a 7.3 Powerstroke will be found on the passenger side of the oil tank right by the dipstick entry. I'm going to be showing that in this video right now. After that was done, we then disconnected the wires from the starter. There are two wires, one smaller one and one larger wire. The larger wire we removed first in order to gain access to the smaller wire. We used a 15mm wrench for the larger wire and a 8mm wrench for the smaller wire. Once the wires were pulled off, we then had to unscrew the bolts holding the starter onto the transmission. For those, we used a 17mm wrench to pull those first two off. We didn't unscrew them all the way because we didn't want the starter to fall once we were done unscrewing them. These are easily accessible. The challenging one to get off was the one on the back side. For this, we had to use a 17mm deep socket with an 8-inch attachment and a swivel ratchet setup. I'll be showing that in this video. That is going to be your challenging part. With our setup with that 18-inch attachment and that 17mm deep socket with that ratchet swivel, it did seem to work quite well in getting off the backside bolt. So once we were done pulling that backside bolt completely out, we then pulled the other easier accessible bolts out. Once that was unbolted, we were able to pull the starter out and get the new starter in.
So we have the old starter out here. Now that bolt that was up like kind of behind the place, that was hard to get to, it was right here. This one's a hard one to get to. That one's the one you got to reach the ratchet back in there and get that extender. Now we're going to put this one in there kind of same way we did. Old starter, pretty damn old, but this one is our new one and we're going to put that one in there now. So let's do that.
For this new starter, we started by screwing in the two bolts holding onto the transmission, and then we used that 8-inch attachment with that swivel ratchet setup and that 17mm deep socket to get that backside bolt in there. You want to make sure you put all three bolts on first, so that way those wires don't get in the way of your install. All right, guys, so now it is time to install the wires. The smaller wire was much more difficult to access than the other one, so it's going to take some time and patience to get that nut on the backside wire. For this wire, we used an 8mm wrench to tighten the wire down. The factory starter, it had a little bit of room to wiggle when you were getting that backside smaller wire off, but this one, the new one, guys, was quite tight and challenging to get your hands and that wrench back up in there. So make sure you guys play with it a little bit, give it some time and patience, and you can eventually get that nut on there. Now it was time for our last wire. This one was pretty easy. You just use that 15mm wrench that we used on the original starter to install that wire, and we just fastened it as tight as we could and put that last wire on. And guys, that's it. Pretty much once that wire is on, you're pretty much set to go. Once the battery cables are all put back together, you're ready to go. Now we're going to run a quick clip of me actually starting up the truck.
See if she fires. Wait to start. Oh my God. So fast. Holy shit. That was crazy. You heard that sound too, guys. That was awesome. That'll conclude this Powerstroke Central video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe down below if you enjoyed the video. 7.3 starts up like a charm now, like it was brand new. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something new. If you want to pick up these modifications, they will be down below. Once again, guys, on the $1,000 truck build challenge, I do have that part for the monitor. It was $501. So we're going to be installing that for you guys Wednesday. So make sure you guys have the notification bell on because that video is going to be great. Without further ado, though, we'll catch you guys on another one. Once again, if you want to watch more badass 7.3 content, it'll be up here or down there. And peace out, fellas.